I don't care if you've been waiting for Redhead Shanks all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Thulu's Prodigy, coming to you live direct from the Vista. Smoke Me Out fam with all the dankest of dank shit. On my left, the oldest ninja in the world. Old ninja? Maybe not. Maybe not. Never mind. On my far right, engineering on the ones or twos, choking people out on freeze Protus.
Welcome back. I guess.
There we go. And last but not least, we got your boy Blue.
When you smell your own fart, you're just recycling your fart.
I don't think that your lungs and your asshole are connected. So I'm just saying.
But the air is going back into your body. The fart's going back into your body.
Okay.
to be reabsorbed. to come back out again.
I'll allow it.
God damn. Like a snake eating its own tail.
Anyway, you nasty mother.
That's how you get pink eye.
That is how you get pink eye. I mean, just saying, y'all got to watch the latest season of The Boys. It's like that's a good reference.
Yeah, man.
Anyway. Papa Bear is the first in the chat. So thank you. And actually, speaking of Papa Bear, we actually recorded another episode of Balance Exchange yesterday. We had a topic in mind, and we're just like, you know what? Let's just catch up. So we just caught up on Balance Exchange. We talked about some cool topics as well, and it was nice to talk to him again as a new civilian. He's calling hats again, and not covers. It's great. Listener of the week, I guess the past 2 weeks has been Zor once again. I need to message him. I'll do it tomorrow.
Dude, I just had lunch with that dude last week. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool. We went and got sushi.
He's doing good?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah, he sent me like a long string of texts, and I just...
Okay.
Yeah, I wish things were better. Yeah, I need to message him back, though. So.
Right on. Old Ninja, are you able to hear and talk? Old Ninja?
He's still stuck in the upside down.
Apparently he can't hear us. We can see him stuttering and he's just frozen again. All right.
Yeah.
You think out of doing this podcast for almost 10 years, we should be working right?
I think that they degraded his internet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and his I saw your lips moving, but you ain't saying nothing.
Mm-mm.
It's a good rap lyric. I'm just saying. Left, right.
All right. Well, I know that there were some RIPs, but whenever he gets his audio and visual and all that other shit figured out, we'll interject. We missed 2 fucking news-filled weeks. Goddamn it.
Yeah, and last week, this is actually one of the things like I want to talk about yesterday with Papa Bear. I gotta mute some shit. Was what happened last weekend with the former president.
Well, the biggest thing that happened last week. The biggest thing that happened last week is that we weren't here.
Yeah.
I don't care about your former president.
Yeah, I mean, he sucks anyway. So, but we don't suck. We're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if y'all are unaware, I'll give it this. I guess this could have been an easily possible RIP. So we'll start there.
Mm-hmm.
The dude narrowly escaped with his life, probably. So, basically, Donald Trump, somebody shot at him, and a series of how the fuck did this happen? Somebody was able to shoot at a president from an elevated position, from a non-secured top of a building, which is
in America.
In America. This is amazing to me. Like I was just like I just some background context. All right, y'all know I'm a U.S. Marine. I've been out for a long time, but when I was in, President Bush he was elected, and he came to Camp Pendleton in like I want to say 2021, 2022 maybe ish.
2002, you mean?
2002, yeah, 2002, yeah, 2002, 2001 ish. He came to give a speech on on base in in like a field that was like maybe less than half a mile from like my barracks room, because at the time I was living in the barracks. So I was a poor young Marine, a Lance Corporal, and they had Secret Service fucking everywhere. Like they were on every goddamn building top, every rooftop, everywhere. They had snipers everywhere. It was crazy. And especially crazy knowing that you're on a secure base.
Yep.
Yes, there are many guns on military bases, especially Marine Corps bases, but the vast majority of those weapons stay in an armory. So, like, if you go on a base, the vast majority of the Marines are not armed currently. They can get armed very quickly, but we don't walk around with guns all the time. But seeing that, like remembering that in my mind, and then seeing somebody shoot at somebody from an unsecured fucking rooftop at a former president giving his rally speech, which, don't get me wrong, I'll say two things. First, I got to say this one first. I'm glad he didn't die. Like, I'm glad that his brain matter was not splattered in high definition on live TV. That's just from a basic humanity standpoint, full stop. But I also have to say, the guy's a fucking piece of shit. Like, I don't like him at all. I think he's terrible for America. He's a fucking he's a multiple-time felon. He's a sexual offender. He's a racist, which I can back up with like multiple instances of his racism, going back to when he settled for a lawsuit back when he was way younger with his dad, owning a complex of condos for discrimination, and he had to settle for that lawsuit. And the Central Park Five, and we just fucking keep going. So he's not a great guy, but I'm glad he didn't fucking die.
Well, that and plus like the repercussions of that shit happening probably would have been, because we saw what happened January 6th when he didn't win the election, the whole insurrection that happened. People would have lost their shit if he would have died. It would have been. I'm not saying it's gonna be like a war is gonna bust out, but
no, it probably would have. I mean, honestly, that is a valid thought. I mean, given the fact that the guy lied to get people to storm the Capitol, it is not outside the realm of possibility that if he would have gotten assassinated on live TV, that there would not have been mass violence from his supporters. Just look at, even though he was minimally injured, look at all the conspiracy theories that came out about the shooter already, trying to rile up the base already. And it's just like, just imagine if that dude would have, he would have been fucking super Jesus.
Yeah.
What's so crazy is that like they dug into the shooter's background, looking for any little thing that would tie him to Democrats, and the guy made like a $20 donation to a Democratic party or something like that back in high school, and they're like, oh, that's a smoking gun right there.
Yeah,
so ridiculous.
The shooter again. I just want to be really clear on this, and I know I'm being specific. This was a 20-year-old white male. It's been reported that he was a registered Republican. It is what it is. And it's been reported that he was fairly conservative. I'm going to say this. I don't like him being classified. You know how the fucking media does. We've talked about this for the last fucking 10 years. Oh, lone wolf. He was a good student in school. Oh, but like, I can't fucking stand it because, you start shooting at, regardless of whether I like or dislike a political figure, you start shooting at someone running for fucking president who's also a former president. You're asking to be, taken out. Let's just say that. But you can't like make it sound as if this was some wholesome good guy. And sometimes, and basically far too often, they kind of placate and play these pussyfoot ass games where when it's frankly a white male shooter, you don't want to call out how fucked up he is. And I'm talking about the media specifically sometimes.
And it's and it's both sides of the media. It's not even just like left or right. It's like both CNN and Fox News were like very quick to point out certain aspects of like they're trying. It's like they look for positive aspects of his life.
The LA Times did it. Like LA and New York Times. Like you can talk about whatever liberal media, what mainstream media kind of didn't want to demonize him. Let's just call it what it is. You know.
Yeah.
Like that. And I was like, the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they like said, oh, he was a loner. They like interviewed hundreds of people that went to school with him, and like, oh yeah, he just ate by himself. He was bullied. Oh yeah,
the bully sympathy shit is always hilarious because I'm just like, well, there's plenty of people who are bullied and don't pick up weapons to kill political figures. You know,
and then like there was like literally like an ad that the kid was in with all his other classmates, and like the ad got pulled because it probably made him seem like he wasn't a loner. Like, what loner is going to be in a school video? I don't know if like back in high school I'd be like, no, you got me out. I don't want to be in that stupid video.
Well, it's all. I mean, there's like a lot of things that occurred that were weird.
Yeah.
One of the things is like they were trying to say like from the right side, they were really trying to. They were thinking that he was like a Democrat for some reason, as if like liberals have like some long string of political violence, like recently. I guess if you want to go back in the day, then I probably. But in recent, memory, if you're a liberal, it'd be fair to say you are probably less prone to violence. That's not to say. Actually, no, I'm not gonna say the other part of it because I don't fucking need to. Apparently, Trump wasn't really necessarily targeted specifically. If they went through like his phone, and it was basically he went through a bunch of people, including Biden. Like he searched Biden, like where's he going to be at? Some other political leaders from other countries, and Trump just happened to have a rally that was nearest to him.
Wow!
So it was in 50 miles. He was just like, all right, fuck it, like that's where I'm going. So. So he was just kind of unlucky, I guess, but also very lucky because his brain didn't get blown up. But who wasn't lucky was the firefighter who got shot and died trying to protect his kids. And the three other people that got shot. Two other people got shot and survived. They were not lucky at all. But what was very odd watching the video was when the shots were fired, and it was very clear that there were shots. I can understand like one sound is like, hey, it could be like a firework, right? Because it's sort of near 4th of July. But then when you see some people in black suits and sunglasses cover up the person that you're watching, and you're still standing around while still hearing these things that maybe could be fireworks. Yeah. I found it very odd. I think this was like literally a case study in cult of personality or just like sheep syndrome, because nobody fucking ran in the crowd. Not a single person that I saw ran. I'm just like, yo, if I think somebody gets shot like literally in front of me, I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge. I'm not ducking down, because ducking down when there's no cover, that's not useful. Like that's not cover. You ducking down. You don't know who the fucking shooter is. Like, get the fuck out of there.
There's multiple shooters.
But nobody ran. Like, it was like, dude, what is going on here? It was like watching some shit it was like watching a parody. Like, if you'd have put it on Boondocks, I'd have been like, okay, I can understand that. It's ridiculous. It probably wouldn't happen in real life. But no, this is real life.
Well,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, when I was at a Jack in the Box and they got robbed, like the dude walked in with the AK, and like I saw it. He jumped up on the counter, pulled it out, and yelled at the woman behind the counter. And my reaction was to get the fuck out of there. Like the whole time, like the time I was like running away, I was like, oh, please don't get shot at back. Please don't get shot at back. Please don't get shot at back. Like, I was worried about my own goddamn safety. I wasn't worrying about like some dude on the stage. Like, I worry about myself.
The wild thing is, you probably wouldn't get much more money than the cost of the AK.
Right?
Yeah.
You probably take the AK down to like one of those police officer gun swap
and
get
$100. In that whole thing, like, if you have to pick up your AK, then you already did not have a good day by definition. I'm just saying. Just put down your AK. You could have a good day per Ice Cube. Just saying. Also,
cook breakfast with hog.
Yeah, exactly. No
Go ahead.
song. Anyway, we can do the whole lyrics if you want throughout the whole fucking podcast. We all know this fucking song.
We should try that.
So me and Papa Bear actually did talk about this topic a little bit yesterday, and because we were talking about like
Like a spoiler alert.
That thing. It's gonna be a great episode whenever we drop it. But people think that there's fight or flight, which is totally untrue. Like there's more. It's more than just fight or flight, because it's fight, flight, or basically just like freeze. And I totally don't understand how you could have, like, at least in the background where I could see there was at least maybe 50 people. The fact that all of them froze was so weird to me. It was like watching fainting fucking goats.
Yeah.
I was just like, all y'all are just doing the same thing. Nobody wants to like preserve their life, maybe, and get the fuck out of there.
Well, there's like that one woman who like busted out her phone.
God damn.
She busted out her phone and started recording.
Yeah, like
what the fuck?
What's wild to me, I'm gonna take it back to the animal fucking kingdom. If you're a bunch of goddamn gazelles and shit, and some lions come out, you know what I mean? You even get a little whiff of a fucking lion. They disperse immediately, like, oh, predator, threat. You know what I mean? It's time to fucking go, you know?
Like, even sheep do that. Like, sheep sit there in danger.
That's all I was saying, yeah. The only ones that don't are the fainting fucking goats. The fainting goats. They literally, something scares them. Oh, I'm just going to fucking fall over. That's basically what everybody did. I was just like, what? Are we humans or what is going on here?
Wow. Let me switch it up just a little bit, because obviously this became one of the topics. And I know we're not going in like chronological order per se, but holy shit. Did a fucking hornet's nest get kicked over the subject of the Secret Service and the job that they did?
Yes.
Rightly so. On one hand, I want to say this really clearly.
There are definitely two hands on this.
Yeah. Rightly so, in terms of your number one job is protecting said candidate. You know, again, regardless, I'm not a Trump fan, but regardless of that, that is their, by definition, job to protect his safety. On the other hand, and they did a shitty job on that. On the other hand, too, there was some extreme racist trope that has jumped the shark on over to even white women in terms of the DEI label being used.
God damn.
Mostly against black folks. Oh, you're a diversity hire. You don't deserve to be here. You're not the real pilot. You're not the real
shady. No.
Engineer. You're not the real doctor. I don't want you DEI XYZ. Well, so there were one or two Secret Service women, white women, right? Was it one or two?
It was two that I saw.
I thought two.
Yeah.
Two that I saw. I don't think they
Hold
did.
On. Two out of like probably like 20 dudes.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but they zeroed in on these women, and were, I mean, just vicious with, back in my day, all the Secret Service, staff was all white male, super commando, and if they had been all white male, this wouldn't have happened. Just complete horseshit bullshit.
Yeah.
There's blame to go around on the Secret Service not doing their job. Don't get me wrong. But to zero in on just those two women was fucking sexist and bullshit all the way around.
Yeah, and it just totally ignores, not even ignores, it is ignores. Like, people don't have rational thought of like, if you think that those two women that were there ran the whole fucking show, like they planned the whole thing, then you have no idea about how planning anything fucking goes, because there's literally zero chance that those two women secured that entire site.
Exactly.
And just ignoring all the other guys that were there that didn't do fucking shit either, they missed all that shit. It ignores the male sniper, the two male snipers that fucking saw the guy and didn't shoot him, and all the white dude police that fucking that flagged that guy and let him go. And, it's just like, listen, white women are not at a high level for me right now. Like, because I'm just going through some shit. Like, I'm not trying to simp for white women right now at all.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like you're literally ignoring all these failures of dudes.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Just so you can single out some women where it's like the only person that I will not give a pass to, and this is very unfortunately, is the director of Secret Service. She is a woman.
Oh yeah.
And unfortunately, actually not unfortunately, this is part of the job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucked up shit happened during your watch.
Mm-hmm.
Part of you getting power is being responsible for your subordinates. So yes, the mountain of shit that fell on that woman, that's the price of power. So you should have ran a tighter ship.
Yeah, buck stops there. That's why I was like, I want to say this carefully because I'm of two minds. I want to like condemn the DEI bullshit against like the two Secret Service women because again, wasn't their issue, but the department as a whole and whoever's over the department, again, that happened to be a woman, director. Of course, the buck should stop with her. This was a absolute failure all the way around, and it'll be a fucking case study, a horror story case study for all the future generations of the Secret Service, just like it was when Reagan was almost killed. You know what I mean? When Kennedy or whatever. Like, it's a big fucking deal when a president gets shot at.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting with the whole Reagan being shot? That guy wasn't out to kill Reagan. It was another one of those opportunities because wasn't he like in love with some star and like that was his way try to
it was really weird
get noticed. Like it wasn't an assassination attempt because he was running for president. It was just he was there,
which is just fucking wild and whatnot.
Well, what else is wild with the whole Secret Service thing is that, and what Kronos was talking about how the audience in the background didn't move when all this stuff was happening was the fact that Trump stood back up and like pumped his fists. It's like there's an active shooter around and you're gonna put your head back up for another target. Like you don't know if there was like multiple shooters or what the fuck was going on. I mean, he was going for the political, like fanboy thingy, but like, dude, somebody just shot at you.
There,
you know?
Okay. Yes, there's a couple of things that occurred before that happened that were very of note to me, and unfortunately, it does involve one of the women that were there. So when the Secret Service covered him up, which they should, this is their job. The mic was still on for like where he was giving a speech, and you can hear the woman that was covering him up. Which is, first of all, I want to give props to her for like literally putting her body on the line to protect the president, the former president, not the president, the former president. She's putting her body on the line. All right, so she's already accepting that I could get shot to protect this person.
Yep.
But also, when she was down there, you could hear her say, "What do we do now?"
Jesus.
And I was just like, "Bruh, like, first of all, you should know what to do now. You should know exactly what to do. If the plan, you should know
all the."
You should know the entire plan.
A-Z.
Yes. You shouldn't have to ask somebody. Like, if there's somebody in your command, if literally your job is just cover the fucking president or whoever you're protecting up, you just fucking cover them and then wait. You shouldn't have to ask questions. Believe in your command. Okay? Believe in your command. Obviously, she was not the fucking top person, but believe that whoever is above you is going to shortly give you commands because not a lot of time passed between, when he got shot at and when she covered him up and then when she asked, what do we do now? And then go ahead.
I was just going to really quickly say, and again, this is not my world. I'm not military. I'm not police. I'm not Secret Service. But I know for damn sure there's a whole shit ton of fucking training. And you saying, what do we do now, does not speak well of your fucking training or you. You know what I mean? In terms of how you paid attention with your training. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just, I don't know if it's her training or maybe she just, I can't say because I'm not the person. But I'm just saying, like, and obviously, like, things happen. Nobody's mic'd up, in like a war zone, which for them, they were in a war zone.
Yeah.
So.
They don't have, like, the cool little white earbuds that go into the ears so they could.
No, like, you got you get a radio guy and, which was me, sort of, when I was in the Corps. And like, like you weren't all like mic'd up for like most shit that happened when you're in war. But they unfortunately like the microphone from like the stand was there. That's picked it up. It wasn't like the microphone that they have like on their own person. Like that wasn't what that's on. But the microphone that everybody heard was from the speaker's mic. So that's why we could hear it. And the fact that like after when they all got up and they said that the shooter was down, so they cleared the area, hopefully, and then they stood him up, and then that's when I was like, it was very odd that he got to like do his whole fist in the air and say fight, fight. I would have just been, if I was a Secret Service, I would have picked that motherfucker up ungracefully while he was being covered and got him in to the car because the car is armored. But the fact that they paused there and they didn't know if there was, they said that like the shooter was down, but you don't know if there's multiple shooters. So they should have got him the fuck out of there as soon as possible. Give him that one weird pause to like do his thing. It was so fucking weird.
Well, not only just from shooter standpoint, again, you don't know how far down the road of like shitty security this went. There could have been multiple shooters. There could have been an improvised bomb, and like you don't know what's going to happen.
And there was an improvised bomb. That's the crazy part, is that there was, and it was in the shooter's car, and the reason why it didn't go off is because he got fucking shot in the face.
Yeah, so it's not secure, and even I know this just because that one shooter is dead. You know what I mean? Like you don't know what else is going to happen. That is not a secure site. So. I don't know. It was just it was absolutely fucking wild.
And there was like also like, because there was like reports where people were saying that they saw the shooter on the roof, like they saw the guy climbing up with the guns, and they were getting police officers' attention. And there actually was one officer that went up there to confront the guy, but the guy turned the gun on him, and then he like kind of dropped down. It's like don't you have radio? Like
I need people to understand that random white men heavily armed with loaded guns are extremely dangerous too. Like the whole looking the other way shit, obviously hindsight 2020 or whatever, but no, you can't get on a roof, you know what I mean, with your fucking weapon when, a presidential candidate is like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, and I don't. Oh, Ninja, can you hear us? Can you speak?
Nope.
Oh, Ninja? I guess not. All right. The fact that, the one police officer, actually, it wasn't one. He was already, at that point in time, flagged by both the Secret Service and local PD. All right? And I don't want to say it out loud, but there's a reason why you can use your imagination that nobody decided to like follow up.
Yep.
So fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
And that led to all that. But another part of it is like when he was on the roof and the officer saw him, he peeked over, and then the guy pointed the gun at him, and then he just like freaked out. It's like, so this is literally one of the main things of like why liberals keep pushing for gun control, because if an AR-15 is so scary to a cop, then why the fuck are civilians allowed to have them? And I'm more and more convinced of this now, because me personally, as like somebody that's been out of the military for a long time, an AR-15 isn't that scary to me. Like I can deal with it because I'm used to like handling them. But I'm also like, I'm a military guy. So like my version of danger is like way skewed off. You know what I mean? Like I can deal with like dangerous situations on the norm. And I think that a lot of police officers, they're not used to that. And they can get scared just like anybody else. Even people in the military can still get scared. Even me, I can still get fucking scared with shit. You know what I mean? But we're still allowing these people to have these guns that scare even the people that are supposed to protect us from those guns. This is a problem and we're allowing this problem to continue to exist. And I keep coming up with this again because, like, if you listen to podcasts for long enough, I used to be super pro gun, but I'm seeing now that this is a problem because, like, if it's so scary to a cop, then that's a problem. Like, they can't deal with that. So, like, what do you do?
Well, you also got really untrained, young-ish, still legal, but young-ish, trigger-happy people. You know what I mean? Like, just drop of a hat. You know, you inconvenienced me. You cut me off. I didn't like your attitude. I'm going to start shooting.
Sorry, that's what I missed. He's a legal gun user.
Yep.
Legal.
Yep.
All right, so that's another thing that, like, eroded my faith in, like, certain kind of gun rights is that I'm seeing more and more of, like, legal gun users commit atrocities upon other Americans, and it just gets swept under the rug by certain kinds of people.
Yeah, like, a lot of times these guns are, like, from, like, criminals they've been stolen and, like, the serial number is scratched off. These are, like, guns that are, like,
it does happen
to them.
Yeah, but I mean that stuff happen, but, like, still does happen.
A lot of times these guns are like this shooter. The gun was his dad's. Like, his dad let him take the gun because he thought it was going to go down to the shooting range,
and that's all legal.
Yeah, it's all legal.
Yep. Fucked up shit.
There was one more thing I wanted to bring up was that because we talk about how his mic, Trump's mic was hot. You could, like, hear the security guard or the
Secret Service.
Secret Service. But we also got to see Donald Trump, like, worrying about his shoes. He's like, motherfucker, you just got shot. Why are you worrying about your shoes? But then, like,
I think he's got special shoes.
Yeah, well, apparently, like, when there's a video of the Secret Service throwing his shoes, and there's a little something that falls out of his shoe, which everybody is saying is probably, like, something to make him look taller. Like, have, like, some kind of platforms in there or something like that. But I thought that was fun. There's some crazy, like, conspiracy theories that came from this all too. Like, you know, it was all staged, and that's the reason why, like, the people in the back didn't react. Why the woman busted out her phone. Why they, like, got that, like, iconic picture of him with his fist up and the flag flying in the background. That picture is pretty iconic at this moment. But, like, I mean, this is all what conspiracy theories are popping up.
So what happened? Let me debunk some of that for you. Okay.
Sure.
So the whole thing about, like, it's conspiracy theory because everybody in the background didn't run. Okay, so with any large group of people, like, you cannot have a secret like that. There's no fucking way. Those people in the background, they were not people of means. Like, they would easily take the money for a story from, like, any organization. Like, anytime people think about conspiracy theories, like, the bigger it gets, the more bullshit it probably is, because you have to basically get people to, like, buy in, or you have to pay them off basically to buy into whatever thing you're pushing. As far as the photos go, I actually do know about that story because the guy was either from NPR or I think it was NPR because I listened to the podcast on it.
He's he's like a political photographer. Like, he's always shooting things like this.
Yes.
Or shooting these events.
Yes. And so I listened to his story about, like, what happened. So it was not conspiracy. Like, Blue, me and you both know if you put something in rapid mode, like just rapid fire, you catch a bunch of shit. So that's basically what he was doing when the shooting happened, is that he went into, like, he kept his finger on the button and was, like, trying to film or get pictures of the former president during that time. And so that's how he got all those iconic photos, because he knew that something historical was happening, but he was, like, ducking down but still trying to get, like, the shots. So he just got extraordinarily lucky with the shots. It was nothing, like, it was not planned at all.
All good. I would simply still say your detail or your service, Secret Service squad, not making sure that you recovered is still that is weird as shit. Like, that should go down in history of, like, what in the entire fuck is going on.
It also, just for context, I am like 90% certain that president, former president, they get to pick who's on the Secret Service detail.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And he picks all the best people.
Those
are his quotes.
There we go. Then, I mean, if we're done with this one, I mean, there was a whole bunch of news. So Old Ninja's really
trying again. Can we hear you? Can you speak now?
I can hear you guys.
There we go.
Oh,
God
shit.
damn. All right.
Yeah, this has been freaking out. I got fucking what the fuck? Crowdstrike.
How dare you got besotted.
Yeah.